and it's now time for LUWINGU Town Council to start making their submissions just after they've done with the introduction. My name is Paul Ndovi. My two sign language interpreters do have Chola Kauma and Jason Manda. We cross over to the committee for now.
Engagement, Council Secretary, as per tradition, I would like to extend Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia that gives immunity to members of parliament when they sit in such meetings and even in the main house. This is extended to you, that whatever you say before this committee cannot be used against you, as long as you are factual. If you willfully choose to mislead the committee, the same Cap 12 can be used against you. It is my belief that you are going to share information that is verifiable and factual, that will help us come up with a report that we shall present before the main house. With that said, Council Secretary and your team, I would like to ask you to introduce yourselves by your names and the positions individually, starting with you, CS.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Benson Chama Malama, Council Secretary for LUWINGU Town Council.
Thank you. Any order you can take. Let her use the mic behind there. Is where our officer from the commission is.
Okay. My name is Chola Msonda, Director Human Resource and Administration.
Thank you, Madam.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. My name is Joseph Mumba, Director, Planning, LUWINGU Town Council.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. My name is Livan Poromondo, Works Foreman, LUWINGU Town Council.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Peter Mwirachireshe, Director of Engineering Services.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good
Director Engineering, your mic is still on. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. My name is Monkola Stephen, Senior Procurement Officer.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. My name is Kemeni Kapote, Director of Finance.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. And good afternoon, permanent witnesses. My name is Mulenga Benson, Internal Auditor.
Thank you. AG's office.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee, and good afternoon, LUWINGU Town Council. My name is Sira Nyirenda, Director of Audits in the Office of the Auditor General in Northern Province. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Nyalazi, Principal Auditor from Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abednego Siluyele, Principal Auditor in the Office of the Auditor General in Kasama.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama. I'm from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
Chairperson, good afternoon once more. And the honorable members of your committee, LUWINGU Town Council, you're welcome to this session. I'm Kazinga Kennedy from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Good evening, Chair, and good evening, honorable members. My name is Mutali Mishek from the Local Government Service Commission.
Thank you. Oh, Secretariat. We are used to.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I am
Chilimboy Elijah from the Office of the Clerk of National Assembly and LUWINGU Town Council. You are welcome.
Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Good evening, Chair and LUWINGU. Welcome to your Committee on Local Government Accounts. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanzo, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in the Daughe District of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Avonga.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. LUWINGU Town Council, my name is Mulonda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. Chairperson, I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Mitete. Okay, we have our members who are connected online, so they'll be monitoring the Vice Chairperson and Honorable Member for Mitete. With that said, I wanted to say that also I'm a member and chairman of this committee of yours. My name is Honorable Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose. Council Secretary, you can take us through your report.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Before I present my report, there are some submissions through the addendum that I want to guide the House. We have some areas of concern. We have Appendix 1, delay completion of project, construction of staff house at Kabangamika. That is on page 6. There is an additional letter which we didn't attach, and Appendix 2. We have also Appendix 2.1, and spend funds community-based projects on page 14. Chair, the action taken should lead management wishes to state that funds have been spent, and a ledger has been attached and Appendix 10. The other one, Chair, is Appendix 2.2 and spend funds, empowerment grants, page 16. We have to withdraw and replace a ledger on Appendix 11. Also, Appendix 2.4, secondary boarding and skills development, bursaries on page 17. There is a provision of additional information to Appendix 12 concerning payment vouchers for returning students. Appendix 3, 2022 community projects. There was that is Appendix 14. Some omissions in terms of the pictures, and also misplacement of pictures on Itende Bridge with a 1x3 construction of Nshimbi Primary School. And lastly, Chair, Appendix 4 on cross-cutting issues regarding 12 outstanding 2023 community-based project on page 20. We have provision of additional information to Appendix 15, and also there is a project called the Kandata Project, number 5, reallocated project funds. Chair, as we proceed, we shall provide guidance. I submit, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, now allow me to present my report.
Yes.
We go to page 5, Chair. Delay completion of projects. Project name, phase 2, construction of Nyemba Health Post. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and attributes the project's delay completion to the contractor abandoning the site. Action taken, management terminated the contract due to the contractor's failure to return to the site Subsequently, the project was re-advertised, awarded to a new contractor, and the project has been completed. Number 2, construction of 1x3 classroom block at Nshimbi Primary School, that is bore and hand pump. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings that the project was delayed because the bore was not drilled and equipped at the time of audit. Action taken, Chair. Management reports that the project is complete and has been handed over to the Minister of Education and the community. 3, construction of Itende Bridge. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings. The Itende Bridge completion was delayed due to contractor abandonment of the site. Management wishes to report that due to the contractor's failure to return to site, the contract was terminated. Management subsequently advertised the project and awarded it to the new contractor, and the works are progressing well, and the project is at 95%. 4, construction of Masonde health post at Masonde. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledged the auditor's findings regarding the delay completion of the project and wishes to report that this was due to the contractor abandoning the site, thereby delaying the works on the project. Action taken. Management wishes to report that due to the contractor's failure to return to site, the contract was terminated. Management subsequently advertised the project and awarded it to a new contractor, and the works are progressing well and at 95%. That is C Appendix 1. Remedial measure, Chair. Management will endeavor to ensure that the projects are completed within the stipulated contract period. B, delay completion of projects, construction of staff house at Kabangamika Youth Post. Cause of the query, Chair, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings regarding the delay completion of the project and wishes to state that this was due to the delay by the contractor to complete works within scheduled time frame. Action taken, management wishes to report that the staff house is at 98% complete according to the scope of work, whilst the ablution block has reached an advanced stage with few works remaining to complete after engagement with the contractor to expedite the works. The measure, Chair, management will frequently engage and enhance supervision to contractors to ensure projects are completed on time. C, failure to avail ownership document, that is management of empowerment soft loans. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding the failure to secure ownership documents. This was due to the beneficiary's failure to acquire a right track, resulting into failure to secure the ownership. Action taken, management conducted a backstopping exercise engaging the loan beneficiary. Despite engagement with the beneficiary during the stakeholders meeting held on 26th April 2024, the beneficiary could not provide the ownership documents, expressing that the cooperative had not yet purchased the right truck. However, during the administering of the loan monitoring tool in December 2024, it came to light that the cooperative, instead of purchasing the truck, the members shared the money among themselves, a situation which led to the local authority reporting the matter to the police. Remedial measure, Chair, management will engage with beneficiaries before and after loan disbursement to ensure property ownership aligns with CDF guidelines. Number 2, non-performing loans. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's finding regarding loan installment defaults. This was due to beneficiaries not saving their loans. Action taken, Chair. Management wishes to state that it engaged the loan beneficiaries regarding the non-saving of the loans through a meeting with loan beneficiaries and advised them to comply with the loan agreement. After a successful meeting, a sum of 172,226.65 has been recovered. Measure, Chair, management will continue to engage loan beneficiaries about on and time installment payments at month end to ensure funds are available for future beneficiaries. Number 3, failure to pay installments at the end of the month. Cause of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings regarding the failure to pay loans installments and wish to state that this was due to non-saving of the loans by the beneficiaries. Action taken, management wishes to state that it engaged the loan beneficiaries regarding the non-servicing of the loan through a meeting with loan beneficiaries and advised them to comply with the loan agreement. After a successful meeting, a sum of 426,272.58 has been recovered. Measure, Chair, management will continue to engage loan beneficiaries about on and time installment payments on a monthly basis to ensure funds are available for future beneficiaries. 4, in failure to terminate loan agreements. Cause of the query, management acknowledged the auditor's findings. The loan agreement were not terminated because the beneficiaries started responding to servicing their loans. Action taken, management wishes to report that following the willingness on part of the beneficiaries to service the loans, management has continued making follow-ups and engaging the loans beneficiaries to continue making loan repayments as the funds are meant to benefit other would-be beneficiaries in the district. Measure, Chair, management will continue engaging loan beneficiaries to facilitate servicing through reminders, payment plan discussions, and assistance with the challenges. Secondary school and skills development bursaries, low student turnout, skills training. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings on low skill training turnout, attributing it to students' failure to report to their designated schools. Action taken, management has continued sensitizing and informing the general public and successful applicants in the community via the community radio station and the LUWINGU Town Council Facebook, where the list of successful applicants was published. Major Chair, management will continue to raise community awareness to improve student turnout for skills acquisition opportunities. Youth, women, and community empowerment grants, irregular payment of empowerment grants to unapproved beneficiaries. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding the payment of empowerment grants to unapproved forms of the 5 beneficiaries and wishes to state that this was as a result of the CDFC chairperson not having had signed on the application forms. Action taken, management wishes to state that all the 5 applicants were approved by the CDFC, and the CDFC chairperson subsequently signed all the applications forms accordingly. Chair measure, management will ensure adherence to the CDF guidelines to avoid reoccurrence. Annual operation projects, cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings attributing the project's failure during the period under review to changes in the project and clubs not following established procedures. Action taken, management wishes to state that regarding the empowerment component grant of the Constituency Development Fund, after numerous reminders to the cooperative beneficiaries who altered their project without following proper procedures, the cooperative formally submitted their project changes on 28 February 2025 through their respective ward development committees. Measure Chair, management will closely monitor and supervise beneficiaries, providing timely advice as needed to prevent reoccurrence, ensuring adherence to their original business proposals. Cross-cutting issues, Chair. Number 1, budget, funding and expenditure. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings concerning the budget funding and expenditure. We wish to state that the underfunding 6.9 million occurred because the funds were not received by 31st December 2023. Additionally, the over-expenditure of 23.5 million was due to the balance brought forward from 2022 outstanding to 21.8. Action taken, management wishes to state that the funds were received on 4th January 2024, amounting to 6.7 million and 115,681 retained for the insurance of the CDF monitoring vehicle. Measure Chair, management will endeavor to continue making steady follow-ups with the Minister of Local Government Rural Development to ensure that all allocated funds are received within the financial year and track expenditure. Total unspent funds. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding the unspent funds of 19.8 million as per audited financial statement and wishes to state that the unspent funds was as a result of ongoing CDF projects and other complaints for 2022 and 2023 respectively. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the unspent funds is as tabulated in the table below, and the funds have since been spent. Chair, we have the balance brought forward 21.9. Funding received was 21.4, and accrued interest on the revolving funds account was 159,884. Total funds available is 43.4 million. Expenditure was 23.5, leaving a total balance by 31st December 2023, 19.8. Measure Chair, management will ensure that funds are spent within the financial year to avoid such occurrences. Unspent funds community projects. Because of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding the unspent funds and wishes to state that the unspent funds was as a result of ongoing community projects for 2022 and 2023 respectively. Chair, as I indicated on my addendum, on this one, the action taken has to change. We are saying management wishes to state that the funds have been spent. Measure Chair, management will ensure that funds are spent within the financial year to avoid such reoccurrences. Chair, unspent funds, empowerment grants. Because of query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings regarding the over expenditure of 1 million on empowerment grants, and wishes to state that this was attributed to balance brought forward for 2022 grants amounting to 510,000, which were paid in 2023, and the funds which were not received within the financial year. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the ledger was adjusted accordingly and funds were spent as indicated in the table below. That is the balance in 2022, 510 brought forward from 2022. Then the funding for 2023 was 2.1, and the total available funds was 2.6, and the expenditure 2.6, and we remain with zero balance. Measure Chair, management will ensure funds are spent accordingly to avoid the occurrence. This will be achieved through strict budget controls and regular monitoring of expenditures against allocated budgets. Secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Because of the query, management acknowledged the auditor's findings regarding unspent funds for secondary and skills development bursaries. The query arose from a low response from potential beneficiaries. Action taken, Chair. Management wishes to report that management wishes to report that to prevent the accumulation of unspent funds, the 2022 secondary and skills bursaries allocations were valid to 3 community projects. This includes 2 health posts and the procurement of a digital X-ray machine for the district hospital at the total cost of 4 million. The remaining funds, 1.1 from the 2023 allocation, were left for returning students in 2024. Major Chair, management will ensure that funds are utilized within the financial year to prevent similar issues from arising in the future. Further, management will continue to raise awareness in the community through the local radio station to encourage more students to enroll in skills program. Unspent funds, administrative costs. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's observation on over expenditure of 151,251. This was attributed to allocation of funds based on the funding of 21.4 million towards the administration component for the period under review as a result of not receiving the 4th quarter funding within the 2023 financial year. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the total available funds for administrative component were adjusted accordingly, and the spent funds of 1.9 million is within the allocation as shown on the ledger attached under Appendix 13. Major Chair, management to ensure that funds are spent within budgets to prevent such occurrences. Community projects. Chair, that is a community project in terms of number implemented where in 2022 where 2020 implemented 13, work in progress 6, outstanding 1. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings concerning the community-based project from 2022 and wishes to state that the issues were preliminary due to the contractor's limited capacity to handle the ongoing projects. Additionally, regarding the other outstanding projects, procurement of a 36-seater bus, the matter is still pending in court. Action taken, Chair. Management would like to report that the 6 projects which were work in progress during the time of audit have been implemented, while 1 project is still pending implementation as the matter is still in court. That is the current status. Community projects, LUWINGU, work in progress 7, implemented 6, work in progress 0, outstanding 1, which is in the court of law. Major Chair, management will ensure that the projects are implemented within the fiscal year. Further, management wishes to state that the outstanding projects will be implemented once the matter is concluded by the court. 2023 community projects approved in 2023-22, implemented 10, work in progress 0, outstanding 12. Cause of the query, management acknowledged the auditor's findings regarding the outstanding community projects for 2023 and wishes to report that the projects were on procurement stage at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to report that following the successful procurement process, all the 12 outstanding projects have been implemented as shown in the table below. And there is some information in our addendum, Chair, concerning this query. Measure, Chair, management will ensure that projects are completed within the fiscal year to avoid delays. Chair, analysis of performance, youth, women, and community grants. Cause of the query, management has reviewed the auditor's analysis of the grant. The approval rate of the 6% is attributed to the number of applicants exceeding the available budgeted funds for empowerment grants for the year 2023 of 2.1 million. However, the 2.6 million disembased funds included the 510,000 for the year 2022 grant paid in the year 2023. Action taken. Management disembased the funds to all the approved beneficiaries for 2022 and 2023 accordingly, representing 100% performance as shown on the table below. Measure, Chair, management will continue disembasing grants in line with the 2022 CDF guidelines and the CDF Act number 1 of 2024. Change of project without approval, Chair. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding, attributing this to beneficiaries changing projects without following established procedures. Action taken, Chair. Management wishes to state that regarding the empowerment components grant of the Constituent Development Fund, after numerous reminders to the cooperative beneficiaries who altered their projects without following proper procedures, the cooperative formally submitted their project changes on 28 February 2025 through their respective ward development committees. Measure, Chair, management will continue to engage and educate the grant beneficiaries in line with the 2022 CDF guidelines and CDF Act number 1 of 2024. Chair, performance on soft loans. Cause of the query, management has reviewed the auditor's analysis of the soft loans. The approval rate of 58% for 2023 soft loans beneficiaries is attributed to the number of applicants exceeding the available funds. Action taken. Management wishes to state that all the successful applicants were paid accordingly, representing 100% performance. Measure, Chair, management will continue disembasing soft loans in line with CDF Act number 1 of 2024 and the 2022 CDF guidelines. Chair, failure to recover loans. Still we are on close cutting issues, Appendix 9. Failure to recover loans, Chair. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding loan installments defaults. This was due to beneficiaries not servicing their loans. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it engaged the loan beneficiaries regarding the non-servicing of the loans through a meeting and advised them to comply with the loan engagement agreement entered into with the local authority. After a successful meeting, a sum of 172 to 26 has been recovered to date. Measure Chair, management will continue engaging loan beneficiaries about on-time installment payments on a monthly basis to ensure funds are available for future beneficiaries. Secondary, boarding and skills development bursaries. Chair, cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding secondary and skills bursaries for 2022 and 2023, specifically concerning the number of graduates. However, management wishes to state that in 2022, there was a low response rate, which resulted in a low turnout. Additionally, there were few beneficiaries of skills graduates at the time of the audit. Action taken. Management wishes to state that as per conveyance letter from the provincial local government officer, the number of recommended beneficiaries under the 2023 CDF covering secondary school bursaries and skills development was 55 and 346 respectively. The total amount approved to cover the two components was 3.2 million. Additionally, management wishes to report that at the time of audit, only 33 graduates, mainly those with the short time courses, e.g. bricklaying, tailoring, and so on, had graduated, as most students had not completed their studies. However, the situation at present is that 175 students have graduated, bringing the total number of graduates to 208 out of the 346 sponsored under the 2023 CDF skills development component. A total of 104 students did not report to school as recommended by the CDFC. Measure Chair, management will continue sensitizing the community about applying for secondary and skills development bursaries through the use of our radio station and Facebook to share accessible information on application requirements and deadlines. Additionally, we will continue collaboration with ward councillors and community leaders to reach those who may be unaware of these opportunities or face challenges in accessing them. Chair, performance on desks. Cause of the query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings regarding undelivered desks of 1,335, which occurred due to delays by the contractors in delivering the desks on time at the time of audit. Action taken, Chair, management wishes to state that the contractors were engaged to expedite the delivery of the desks and would like to confirm that 1,201 desks have been received and a total of 1,068 have been delivered to various schools. Furthermore, the balance of 134 is yet to be delivered by the supplier. Major Chair, management team will ensure that all the desks are delivered within the contract period to avoid such occurrences. This includes a thorough review of the current production schedule, identification of any potential bottleneck, and proactive communication with our suppliers. I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary, for that submission. A long one, indicating issues in the administration of CDF. Honorable Member for Siavonga.
Chairperson, I'll take you to page 26.
Let's go to page 26.
Just a concern, Chairperson. The CDFC committee approved the students for skills development, and then the secondary school boarding pupils as well. On the action taken, the council is submitting that a total of 104 students did not report to school as recommended by CDFC. This number is worrying. What are the reasons for all this number that showed interest in the first place, and then when time came for them to go into school, they are not there?
Thank you, Chair. Allow me, the Director Planning, to take on that one, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. On this one, Chair, I only managed to call a few of the students concerned, but the numbers called is not adequate for me to actually basically draw inference as to why most of them could not make it to school. The reasons, of course, that they were citing were to the effect that their parents did not have money for them to proceed to school. Thank you, Chair.
This is 2023. Honorable Munda.
Where are these 104 students budgeted for?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, they were.
Did you pay for them?
No, we didn't pay for them because the procedure is that after doing the head count, that's when we make payments to the schools where they have been posted. I thank you.
Okay. Your WDCs who recommended these students, they didn't give you feedback as to why such a big number withdrew from college or from taking up training?
Thank you, Chair. Like I mentioned, I did, of course, make those follow-ups, but the reasons were to do with what I have mentioned, essentially, issues to do with finances on the part of the parents. Thank you.
Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you. We go to page 1. Is it page 1? Yes.
Let's go to page 1.
There are 4 projects that delayed completion in total, with a total amount of 3,702,306 kwacha, and by the time of audit, 30th of April 2024, amounts totaling 2,539,000, representing 69% of the financial progress, and the projects are listed in on page 2 through to page 4. Looking at the these 4 projects, I have a few observations for clarification. Project number 1, which is Nyemba Health Post, and project number 4, construction of Masonde Health Post at Masonde Primary School. These 2 contracts were awarded to one contractor, Ovo Builders and general contractors. And the same contractor failed to perform. The end result is that the first contract, which is at Nyemba Health Post, it was terminated and re-advertised, then awarded to second contractor. Whilst the other project, the 4th project, which is Masonde Primary School, the contract is still running and at 70% completion. Why would council issue 2 contracts to a contractor whose reputation in the first contract did not perform to specification? I mean, did not perform, which led to termination. I'll give you the dates. On 31st March, he was awarded contract number 1, which is Nyemba Health Post, on 31st March. And this contract, whilst is running that contract, facing termination, another opportunity occurred at a council where he participated in in contract number 4, which is the health post at Masonde, and this contract was awarded on 29th May 2023, which is 5 months, 3-4 months after he was already running. He already had a contract with council, and that contract was failing, which to a level you terminated, and you gave an opportunity to the same contractor to. That is one clarification. Over the same OVO, why this, also another observation, why this OVO contractor, OVO general dealers, is contracts, construction of a health post at Nyemba is 10 months. The contract period 31st March 2023 and 15 May 2024. And come to project number 4, the same OVO general dealers, his contract, for the second contract was commencement date 29th May 2023 and end date 7th May 2024. That is 1 year to construct a health post. Why is this, does this contractor dictate the terms? Because this is not commensurate to standard construction period for a health post. A health post normally it's a 3-4 months period. Why this contractor could dictate his period of construction? And I'm not going to mention the councils, but we are very privileged to be in this committee where we've been interrogating several councils. So this OVO contractor, he has had multiple projects in various councils in the northern circuit, and they are not performing. They've ended up being terminated, but we have seen in most of these contracts that have been terminated, just like this example, he showed influence in terms of the construction period, more than 10 months over a rural health post. Then if you look at the financials, he is the only one who got above 70% of the finances pertaining to that particular project. Project number 1, Nyemba Railways Post. He got, this contract was 457,722. The amount paid was 337,451, amounting to 74% of the contract price. And the project number 4, out of 1,253,000, he was paid 886,244, 72% of the contract sum. And abandoning the work, both contracts terminated and re-advertised. Whilst these other contracts, like contract number 2, he only collected 66% of the contract price, and he persisted until he completed the project. So let us answer these questions on OVO.
Addition? Yeah, on the same. Just to know when the first contract was terminated. Do we have the termination letter for the first contract?
So you can start about this OVO builders.
Yes, Chair. My colleagues will come in. I know the Honorable has asked a lot of questions concerning OVO. Let me talk about the delay. The delay mostly in our district, the delay mostly which is there, you see, the rain season. Rain season mostly delays. If the contractor hasn't finished the work before October, then we have to forget about 3 or we have to forget about 6 coming months. I can
maybe
still give you
specific to
yes.
the contracts. Speak
yes.
to them. Give an
especially
example.
Nyemba. It's
Nyemba,
very far. It's almost we border with Mpika. And
when was the contract started or signed? Then when was the completion date?
I think maybe
those comments you are making,
yes.
Make the comments looking at the date of commencement or contract signing and the expected date of completion. Then yes. You bring in those justifications. We will see if they are speaking to the reality.
Okay, sir. Well, an addition.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with responding to why was the OVO given 2 contracts. So, Chair, what we indicated in the solicitation document, we said a contractor can be given 2 projects at a given time. And these projects were not advertised at the same time. So
we agree, sorry. Should you put record straight? We are not against even 3 projects. But the first project, which is Nyemba, was not performing. Yes. And it was on the verge of being terminated. Then you give the same another contract. The question is not that you are wrong to give contracts to a contractor. No. Put the record straight. We are agreeing. But why did you give OVO builders or general dealers another contract when the other contract was not performing? That's a question.
Thank you, Chair. When we got to the submission, the start date was the 31st March 2023. That's when the project was signed. The contract was signed. But like the CS,
when was it supposed to end?
It was supposed to run for 3 months.
Really, yeah?
The date is indicating
recording in progress
2024. But I'm sure this was coming in due to the correspondences that were done with a contractor. But the contract was supposed to end in 3 months.
What are you saying to this committee? As we are reading your report is that this contract was for 1 year. Is it 10 months? 10 months. So we are wondering what type of contract is it? This is a second council that is giving, since we started, giving a contract for 10 months. And it's strange. What could be the reason? Is this contractor determining the conditions? As we can't take your story, because where is it? As we are basing on what is submitted to us by yourselves, actually. Director Engineering. Sir.
Thank you, Chair. What I was trying to communicate, Chair, is this contract was supposed to run for 3 months, but what is indicated in here is for a month because of the impossible.
Is it indicating what?
I'm saying it's the end date is 15th May 2024.
Meaning how many months?
Which is a year, almost a year and a month.
So you are also surprised?
No, Chair, I'm not surprised. What I'm trying to...
But why are you disputing? So can you tell us the reasons why you as a technocrat, you allowed this contract to be for 10 months? What were the reasons?
Because of the train, it was just an extension. Because of the train, it was impossible to go to the site at that period.
So now,
during the rain
how
season.
do you reconcile with the statement just now that it was supposed to be for 3 months? Then you are agreeing that, because of the terrain we gave him 10 months. Now again, you are changing that, you are justifying the 10 months, which is okay. Why did you say, no, this is not a problem? We meant that this contract is supposed for 3 months. You just stated that.
Yes, Chair, it was suspended because of the road was impassable.
Honorable Mulunda.
Chairperson, both the CS and the person on the floor now, they are bringing additional information, which is not on the report. The Council Secretary is lamenting that the terrain and that place is very far. You all knew. But the question that is coming from the committee is, if you had those in your minds, that this person would delay this person because of ABC, why did you give him another contract?
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, sometimes it's very difficult to answer that question, why we gave him another contract, because looking at the time that we gave him and the time we advertised for Masonde, it's like it was almost in the same range.
Read the dates.
Where is Masonde? Page 3. Hmm? 2 months. Sorry, Chair, for that delay.
No, we have all the time.
Yes, page 3, I'm there, Chair. Yes, it was on 29th May 2023, and we have indicated that the contract would have ended on 7th May 2024. Then the other one which you mentioned is Nyemba. Now if you look at Nyemba, it was on 31st March 2023, and Masonde, it's in May. So if you look at the dates, Honorable Chair, it was within the same range. It's only about 2 months or so difference. So I may not say maybe this person was favored, but we just advertise the projects within that range of time.
Dr. Mwanza?
Just be calm and
your mic.
Yes, just be calm and answer according to what was obtaining on the ground. I think the engineer is correct that the initial contract, of course, he didn't give us the contract here. The initial contract he should have signed for 3 months, and in the process you gave him a lot of extensions and so on until the end date here is 15th May 2024. But you would have done better to start date 31st, like the first project, start date 31st March 2023, then initial end period, whatever date, then extension this date, this date, this date. That would be helpful. So, basing on that fact, if you take my presentation to be what was obtaining on this contract, that he signed the first for 3 months. For 3 months, meaning from March, and then the second project was awarded in May. So you are already struggling, you are already extending his contract. You are already approving extension of time for the first contract. And
are you getting the point?
This
contractor you have given him, Nyemba, it was supposed to be for 3 months. He's already struggling. He's not performing according to the timelines, and he's losing time. You are giving extensions, meaning that he is not performing according to expectation, and he's giving you reasons why he's asking for extension. Then you give him another contract. And the contracts, just before you come in, these contracts are under EGP, most of them, isn't it?
Thank you, Chair. By then, we were not using EGP, we were not trained. But this time around, it's on EGP.
Even when it was not EGP, but the way you were tendering, advertising them, 2 months is a long period that you can say is at the same time. Within 2 months, a project can be completed. Now, specific points that we want to get from you. This is a contract that it is not performing already. Then you give him another one. What was the rationale? Who is this person who is favored? Favored, Doc.
The council, just to ride on the council secretary's explanation that because of the terrain and the geographical location of the areas, it is raining, and so if a contractor cannot finish a project in October, then it means it has to go the following year. But this contract was awarded in March 2023, which all of us, the whole country, I think we know it is getting a bit dry, and accessibility improves in these areas. It could have been better. Why not up to extend up to September, October? So because the following months that you extended the contract up to, like the first contract up to May 2024, which means November, December is all included in his time to and the areas are inaccessible. So, what justification?
Council Secretary,
just tell us the
what
truth.
is
You are immunity.
You have the immunity. And also, what you should note is that apart from the revelations that are coming out, that are questionable, you find this particular contractor, now this should be the fourth, in different councils. And wherever, most of them have issues. contractor is performing, how do we highlight it ourselves? How do we know about it? How do we know about him? So we had these OVO builders or OVO general dealers from 2-3, but strange issues. Now it is now with you, LUWINGU. What was the rationale of giving him a second contract when the other one was not performing? Are you the people who determine direct engineering? What connections do you have? Procurement. What entices you? Someone is not performing there, then you give him another one. Procurement would want to learn from you. You are the guys who, not guys, you are the people, the officers who deal with this. Before you respond to procurement, we want to hear Honorable Mulunda.
Just on the same question, Chairperson, I also want to know the motivation and who is this overbuilder? Is he a local contractor in LUWINGU or is from another district? Who is this person?
Yes, you may not know, engineer, but you may know. You know the contractors.
Yeah, we didn't know this person in terms of he has been working with us. These are just local contractors. Remember, Chair, 2022, this is the time that we were starting the projects. That is when we had the funding for 2020, first funding, 2022. And if in our case we noticed his behavior in terms of performance, that's why we terminated against the others, and we have no problems with the remaining with the funds and these other issues. And the funds that remained, we have managed even to complete this project. Why? Because sometimes we look at how this contractor is performing. I'll give you an example on the first, that is page 2, where we indicated that the starting date, 31st March 2023, and we ended, the project would have ended on 15th May 2024, meaning the period that I've talked about in terms of having challenges to access this, it is within this, meaning even as I'm talking, Chair, right now, the day before yesterday it was raining heavily in LUWINGU. So we have those challenges. But if you look at this period, meaning starting from October somewhere there, 2023, where it didn't finish, meaning we have to not to count for this rain season time. Because if you look at it, it would have ended in May 2024, meaning November 2023, December, January, February, March, April, even part of May. We have to count it out. So that's the delay in terms of the trend that where we are, Chair.
This contract, was it running or it was terminated at some point? The first contract?
It was also terminated at some point.
When was it terminated?
So we check the letters has been attached, Chair.
The date, I just want to see.
Anyone who have seen it, the date? Yes, Chair, I've seen it. It was on the 8th July 2024.
2024?
Yes.
That's when you terminated?
We just terminated.
Chairperson. Why did you terminate it? Because at that time, the place should be accessible. Why did you terminate it? And then, just to add on it, on that, you said you didn't know when you are submitting. You said you didn't know what was. Do you have a profile of this same contractor that he has done some works and you have the confidence? That's the reason as to why maybe when it was difficult on the other side, you are able to give him another contract on the other side because you had the profile of his performance.
The record of profile.
That one will allow the procurement officer probably to come in.
Procurement officer.
Thank you, Chair. He had a track record of performing some other contracts.
Within LUWINGU?
Yes.
Dr. Mwanza?
In fact, the procurement officer, you had a very good opportunity.
You
had a very good opportunity because this contractor, when he bid for the first project at Nyemba in March 2023, you awarded the contract based on his presentation of having done works elsewhere to do these similar works at your council. Now, whilst executing the job, he could not perform to expectation. So I'm sure, because in fact he didn't even provide a lot of evidence and correspondence anyway, so he must have applied for extension of time because the 3 months was almost coming to an end. Then why I'm saying you had an opportunity is because at the same council as the same client, you had an opportunity to advertise for Masonde. At Masonde, at the time of adjudicating these tenders, this is a contractor who has applied for the second contract, but he is your client on another project in Nyemba. So you don't need to be told about his performance. You don't even need to do due diligence because he is your client on Nyemba project. And he was also bidding for a similar scope of work, which is a health post. So, what can you just tell us the truth exactly? What motivated you, the rationale behind giving him the second contract when he was not performing on the first contract and he was struggling even to give him extension of time on the first contract, and you started giving extension of time even past the dry season up to March 2024. So exactly what is it? Because other contracts that are within the same office, like construction of 1 by 3 classroom block at Nshimbi Primary, which is project number 2. I'm sure it is all within the same geological location of LUWINGU. This is Nshimbi Primary School. So Nshimbi Primary School, why? His contract is just within 5 months. Within 5 months, and yes, he delayed, but through constant engagement, he completed the project. But this the time that auditors visited your site, this contractor only got about, I think, 60%, 66% of the financials. But overall, he made sure his time was extended up to 1 year for both contracts. Then he managed to convince council to be paid more than 74% of the finances, and disappeared, or it started not responding to the project. You ended up now terminating both contracts. Let us share here, because we just also want to learn what motivated you, more especially the fact that he was your client. You were still, he had a running contract with you whilst you are adjudicating for a second contract.
Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. Some of the attributes to that delay was not attributed to the contractor, it was attributed to the train. So to some extent, that's why we are saying to say the train was very bad, because before you reach Masonde,
about the motivation. Because if a contractor is having a job, I'm engaged with this contractor for one site, and then we have advertised for a second project, and I see this contractor, he has submitted his bid, and I see that the performance on the first project is excellent, that would be the motivation to award him the second contract. In fact, the second contract is talking about the same scope of work, which is the construction of a health post. So the first contract, he is struggling and you are doing extensions of time, and he gobbled 74% of the finances towards that first project. Then you award him a second contract of the similar scope of work. The question is the motivation. Where do you draw the motivation? Because if he performed very well from the first contract, then he has appeared on the second contract. Everybody, in fact, it wouldn't even cause any anxiety, because you would say, well, he did very well on that project, and he completed it on time, within budget. We are not struggling to get funds from other financial years and so on. So that would be the motivation. But where is the motivation here when he never performed on the first contract and making delay healthy services to the people of Nyemba area? Up to now, I'm sure up to now, the services are not yet there.
Yes, sir.
Just in addition to the response from our officer, you alluded to the fact that the contract was terminated in July. I asked you, in July, is that place still impassable? In July. And then you had another contract that you awarded to him, which he did not perform as well. Is it the same terrain? If the answer is no, what is the motivation? Because now you are seemingly starting defending the contractor who did not perform. You want to defend him. No, we can't blame the contract because it's the terrain. We are saying you terminated the contract when the place was passable. The place was accessible. You terminated, at least if it was in December, but in July. So why do you want to start defending him? Are you part of that yourself?
Procurement. Maybe, Chair, if I can come in and help on that one. Chair, if you look at our action taken and the dates which I've talked about, you'll find that we terminated because immediately after that terrain I'm talking about, which is bad, between October and November, this contractor was not on site. So we had no time to waste but to terminate. Like asking,
maybe to conclude on this, in conclusion, on this matter, which is not a very good scenario for the council. These are the issues we are grappling with as a committee. You people have no care. Now, you are seemingly defending contractors. Now, he had 2 contracts. This side, he was not on site, and you wanted to terminate, and you are supervising him on another site. Yes, you are terminating this contractor over on Nyemba because you said he was not on site, but he had another contract that he had signed on which site? Masonde. So you were able to supervise him on Masonde. There you said no, because there you are not performing, we are terminating. In July, was it impossible? Those are the questions. Okay, we agree that in July, because he was not on site, but he must have been to the other side, I believe, isn't it? Because the contracts periods are almost the same. He must have been at Masonde. Was he not at Masonde?
Thank you, Chair. Just to
was he not at Masonde? Yes or
yes,
no?
Masonde was also his project.
Was he there at Masonde?
Yes, but
So,
if you look at the period, you are
no, we want to agree with you. We can't, you see, we can't go on and on. This is not a church, we just demonstrate to you that what you are doing is wrong. You can tell from this. That's why you struggle to come up with these things, to explain things that you know you have messed up yourselves. You have no heart for the people. You have no heart. And you don't even, you are not in tune with government policy and government's vision. When you have a government that has a vision to say we are going to use CDF, and here is the money, all of you, you should sit down and reflect. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, here is the money. What we are supposed to do is to make sure that LUWINGU changes. They have given us money for the people. This is what you are supposed to do. Now, let me read also one. Because, it's strange what you are doing. Let me read this one. It's on page 7. Failure to avail ownership documents. Contrary to the guidelines, there were no ownership documents registered in the name of the council for the light truck loan costing 190,000 kwacha in respect of Luchebu Youth Enterprise. Luchebu Youth Enterprise applied for a loan to buy a light truck, and the maximum for a loan is 200. Possibly they came with a quotation to say we have found it at 190. And you as CDF committee, they approved. Instead of you as a council paying the supplier of the light truck, you gave them money direct, contrary to the regulation. And it is said in your action taken, management conducted a backstopping exercise, engaging the loan beneficiary. Despite engagement with the beneficiary during the stakeholders meeting held on 26th April 2024, the beneficiary could not provide the ownership documents expressing that the cooperative had not yet purchased the light truck. On 26th April, they were telling you that. And these are within LUWINGU, that is an area called the district council, where you are officers. And these are your people. Through the DPO, you know where they are, you know they are identified. However, during the administering of the loan monitoring tool in December 2024, it came to light that the cooperative, instead of purchasing the light truck, the members shared the money amongst themselves, a situation which led to the local authority reporting the matter to police. Appendix 6 is a report. Maybe this is the police asking for logistics. In April 2025, 15th April, the police, they're asking for logistics to pursue or to investigate Appendix 3, I mean. Appendix 3. Let's go to Appendix 3. from December 2020, when you were told that actually we shared the money, December 2024, January, there's a letter here for January 2nd, 2025, request for investigation into reachable youth enterprise, addressed to the officer in charge in 2025. Then the officer in charge writes requesting for logistics 15th April 2025. Last month. And probably you told the officer in charge we are going to appear, write something, reply to our letter 2nd January 2025. You see the trouble that we have. So this to you is normal. To us, auditors and the Zambians, it is not normal. How do you account for yourselves in those offices if this is the way you work? How do you assess yourself on this account?
Chairperson, these people, the management of LUWINGU, they are not supposed to be proud to be here. When they reported to the police last month, they are corresponding with the police. They are not supposed to report the club in the first. They should have reported themselves.
I think so.
Sir, they should have reported themselves. Can I blame those people that shared the money?
No.
When these people have the guidelines and they chose to look to the other side, not to look what the law provides. Do we have the legal officer here? Do you have the legal officer?
Do we have the planner? Who is the planner?
I'm here, Chair.
You and your socio-economic planner and the other planner in the department. What was your role?
Thank you, Chair.
Who are these? Because these are not the only clubs that you have given loans. What is this? Who are involved in this club? That you can give them money, you know where they are, instead you give them direct cash when the law says you go and procure, because what they applied for and what you approved was a right track. And the guidelines from the ministry that we follow ourselves is that the councils should go and procure and hand it to them. This is the right track. The documents we keep at the council until when you pay. When you repay the loan, that is when the ownership documents will be given to you. That is the guideline. And do you know why the government did that? The same reasons. The same. So you are not answerable to government. You have your own rules there. DPO.
Thank you, Chair. I must admit we could have done better, Chair. We needed to manage the situation better. Thank you, Chair.
Were you in LUWINGU?
Yes, I was.
And you were involved?
I was in the office at the time this was happening, Chair.
And you are proud?
Not really, Chair.
Who are these people? Who are these people? This youth club?
This is a group comprising of youths within the township of LUWINGU.
And that's why the police have said, give us logistics for investigations. They know there's nothing you are doing. You are just answering queries. There's no action. The Minister of Local Government, the current Minister of Local Government has issued instructions. Use whatever means to recover loans. This money from 2023 could have helped others if these people were repaying. And you are compromised. All of you are compromised. You cannot do away with the guidelines. Then I always say, it's either you as a team, you are supposed to resign. This sounds crude, eh? But in civilized, normal situations, you are supposed to ask yourself, what is your relevance in the council if you can do this? So it's normal. I say even the procurement on the projects, they can be giving a contractor, here is not performing, the other contract is running, they are supervising on this one, and it will fail. Even if it fails, you give him another one, it will come in another name. You are sabotaging the country. Council Secretary, this is not good. You see, if it was in my own language or my own home, this. Now this is work. We should be civil. In other jurisdictions, all of you are supposed to go in or fired. But here, we shall see you in another council. Continue doing the same. This was on oversight. If these are the responses, we apologize and oversight. Then we should stop these interrogations that we have. Because they are not yielding the desired results. But the country and the government is expectant. The government is serious. That's why we are here. If you are not serious, we shall help you to go where you're supposed to belong. This club should be pursued. OVO. Did you recover the money from that OVO contractor? The money he paid. You had the financial closure on the projects? Where he was paid 70-something% of the payment. Now you contracted another contractor. You did the variation at an the added price. Up to now, the people of Nyemba, the people of Masonde cannot have the services. Dr. Mwanza, before I conclude.
Page 6. Just quick ones. There's a construction of staff house at the Kawangamika Health Post. Kawangamika Health Post. This house is the contract was signed almost during the same period, like October. Yes, October. It was signed in November, 9th November 2023, ending 8th April 2024, and the contractor was only paid the 25%, which is advance payment, and the project has been dragging on, and to date it is at 98%. If we go to Appendix 2, you will see the the state in which the house is. It is at 98%, not yet complete, but almost complete. Looking at the picture of the house on Appendix 2, I just want to seek clarification. Is this the standard design of a health officer's house as provided by Ministry of Health to all councils? Then the second one is on contract management. Just after the picture, there's a letter. There's a letter from the contractor. The contractor is called More of Me General Dealers. So this More of Me General Dealers, 2nd December 2024, he wrote a letter request to temporary suspension of works due to poor state of the access roads to the site, Kawangamika project. I write to your good office expressing the challenges on facing to deliver and supervise the project due to not accessing the site currently. This challenge has come due to heavy rains being experienced, as well as the main road leading to the site is being constructed where heavy equipment like the bulldozer doing vegetation control and so on and so forth. So the road becomes impassable. It is against this background that we intend to resume work in the last week of April. By then, the rains would have come to an end. So basically it's giving us the it's just explaining why he needs to suspend the works that he would like to start in April when there be when the race would have come to an end. So now the response by council is on page 2. I mean the second letter, appendix. Appendix 2. Yeah, appendix 2. So the contractor was just talking some stories, and then we told now the response is that this is in response to your letter dated 2nd December requesting a temporary suspension of work due to the access road condition. We view this as an attempt to to extend the project deadline.
We view this as another attempt.
Another attempt to project deadline. A 90-day extension due to a damaged culvert was previously granted to you in July and expiring in October. Anyway, here they are saying they'll present this matter to the procurement committee. The second letter, written on 5th April by more of me, he is asking for extension of time by 60 days. Then the client responds, is a letter somewhere, almost before the minutes, procurement minutes. Before the procurement minutes, LUWINGU Town Council grants extension of time to the contractor for 90 days when the contractor asked for 60 days. Contractor asked for 60 days, and then LUWINGU Town Council grants 60 days. Why would you grant 60 days of extension, 90 days of extension, when you the client, your interest is the benefits of the project to be completed as soon as possible, so that the people start receiving the good services, like this one is healthy services. So you delay the completion by yourself. The contractor is requesting for 60 days, 2 months. Then you say, no, we are giving you 90 days. Basela, why?
And this one is the council secretary who signed. You are Mr. Benson, man.
Have you seen the letter I'm talking about? Yes, the application is very clear. The contractor applied for 60 days. And your response, you have granted the contractor 90 days. You granted the contractor 90 days. As a client, your interest is for the contract to be completed in the shortest possible time, which we can talk about time controls, time, quality, and cost. When you complete a project early, you even save on the cost. So why could you answer those two questions?
Yes, Chair, I think the engineering department were open on that one. As we have indicated, the terrain it's still a serious issue.
So the contract, because of the terrain, the contractor was asking for 60 days. You say that because of the terrain we shall give you 90.
Sorry. Thank you, Chair. Sometimes it is the discretion of procurement committee, because if you look at these letters, normally they should come through the procurement committee. We assess and then recommend.
So where did you base your generosity yourself as the council secretary?
Yeah, Chair.
Where was it coming from?
Yes, Chair. Where we came to conclude that we give 90 days. Of course, my colleagues will come in. We are looking at, if you look at these periods, that we are talking about, if you look at the period and the letter itself, this is during the critical time of rain season.
Let's have Honorable Mulunda comment, switch off,
So
the short one.
the contractor assessed what you are assessing, sir. You have a duty. Let me now put it this way. You have a duty as LUWINGU to deliver service. Government gave you the money to deliver service to the people. And your allegiance should be to the people, not to the contractor. Why are you now trying to give the contractor a bonus? Because the contractor assessed and he said, I think within 60 days, I should be able to do this thing. He assessed, not you. You have no contractual knowledge whatsoever, nothing. And him did that. So why are you going around, why are you being economical with the truth and you want to defend somebody, they are indefendable here? Chairperson, this is not right. We can.
Yeah. Council Secretary, there's nothing that you can respond to on this one. You were saying that you could have gotten advice from procurement. The question was, is it procurement who told you, sir, even if this contractor is asking for 20, asking for 60, add more 30 days? Is it the procurement? Or you just sat in your office as Council Secretary? Even then, you should have said, where is my allegiance? What is the president saying when he says the project should be, finished on time? Surely we have no fear for authority. We are not fear, but regard. This can be taken as trying to undermine government. Your actions, officers, truly speak to that. Because no person can do what you do. And what we pick is that when you are away in LUWINGU, you are in your own world, your own country, your own government there. What the government in Lusaka is saying to you, that is doesn't affect you. Whatever, because here you are demonstrating, contrary to this, you are doing the wrong things. At one time, the government said, whoever indulges himself in wrong things, he is on his own. That is not a song. They are saying that let's come back to normalcy as a country. A wrong is a wrong. Here is someone who gets 190,000 kwacha. They share, and you knew that they were sharing. The procurement team, the planning department, and they have been given a vehicle. They do go around, do appraisals and the monitoring. They know that this club got it, and they never bought a truck. If a truck is bought in LUWINGU there, everyone should know that someone bought a Chigayo here using CDF. Someone bought a truck here using CDF. But you want to pretend until December 2024. And in December there, you even waited 2025. That's when you wrote, now we are going to appear before the Local Government Accounts Committee. What did we do about that? Start writing a letter. That committee is a problem. That's what you say. Just recently, you went to Chalimbana, council secretaries, telling the government, no, this committee, which committee, which Zambian can allow this? Can condone this? Instead of you addressing these issues, you go and talk about a committee. Council Secretary, what you are doing there, is it correct? We are going to expose you more with the hope that those who are ready will reform. Those who are not, one day you face the exit. By the time you exit, that's when you realize that we would have listened. Our role is just to read your own reports. We don't make these reports. Right now, tomorrow we have another team. We are going to ask, they are behind you there. Give us. We are going to read. That's when we shall learn. We are not involved. If the abnormal became normal, then there is a problem. So now we are trying to tell you that no, that was abnormal. If you are not working, you start working. Madam Speaker has constituted these committees to expose this. No mercy must return in the way we do things in councils. Administering of huge resources given to us by a president and his government should be benefiting the people of our districts and constituencies. This should not be, will not be condoned. So, with your generosity, use your personal money to be giving, not government money. A contractor is supposed to do within a contract period. These are not personal resources that you can extend. The contractor says, I'm going to do this within this. They say, no, we shall give you even another extra month, 1 month. That will not be the case. Auditors should take interest. You are part of seeing what payments are going to these contractors that you are extending every day, making variations. A project that was supposed to cost 1 million, it will cost 3 million by the end of the day. That money could have done 3, 4 more schools, health centers. But for you, that is not the case. And we are suspecting that these are your friends. This OVO, even tomorrow if you are still in the same province, OVO will appear. But you see, we are not against local Zambian contractors. They should be performing. There are other contractors in they are performing. We can keep on saying this and that as we shall make recommendations, and we are going to make them individually and as a team. We want to encourage those who are doing very well. The councils like Mwense, Chembe, Chifunabuli, Shiwuyunji, Kafyuwe, Vubwi, Lumezi, Karurushi, Shangombo. Those should be the people to be promoted. Make them town clerks and what? So that those who are failing, they go. It's either they leave the local government. There are so many people are queuing, troubling the president for jobs. They should be given these jobs. They can be planners who are not going to look at faces of who gets a loan is not pursued. Other people in LUWINGU are being pursued and they're paying. I'm directing you through this committee. We want those people to pay back the loans as directed by the Minister of Local Government. All those who are not paying, they should pay back the loans, including that club. Repay the money, give it to other people. That money they say they're going to pay to buy a truck. That contract or the contract was to buy a truck. If they didn't do that, they should repay the money so that you give to other clubs. The immunity is hereby withdrawn. From now on, you are on your own. We wish you well. When I'm speaking, you take note. The government is speaking, you don't take note. The minister is talking, don't do this. You are doing contrary to what the minister is saying. What are we doing? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for being with us on Parliament's television from the time we opened the station at 08 hours and we heard the first witness at 10:05, and that was Kasama Municipal Council, followed by Lunte Town Council after lunch, and we've concluded the night with LUWINGU Town Council. You heard the recommendation that came from the chairperson through the committee, and this is the Committee on Local Government Accounts. And this is where we end today's transmission. Remember, we're back tomorrow, and we expect some more local authorities. We expect Mbala Municipal Council, Lupososhi Town Council, and Porokoso Town Council to make the appearance before this committee. They are considering the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2020. Quite a number of issues being raised on how these local authorities are utilizing the Constituency Development Fund. On behalf of Emmanuel Kaluba, Monica Kunda, Stan Piri, and my two sign language interpreters, that's Jason Manda and Chola Kauma. My name is Paul Sentendovi. Thank you so much for your time. Join us tomorrow at 08 hours. God bless.